Ladies and gentlemen, in 2025, the world is shifting at an incredible pace, and the noise around us is louder than ever before. We're constantly bombarded with expectations, comparisons, and distractions, all telling us what we should be doing, who we should be, and where we should go. But if we focus on what everyone else is doing, we lose sight of something incredibly important: ourselves. When we look outward for validation, we let the world dictate how we live our lives. We end up chasing things that aren't ours to chase, living for approval and measuring success based on someone else's standards. The truth is, your path, your values, your goals, they are yours alone. Only when you focus on yourself can you begin to understand what truly matters to you, not what matters to others. I'm not talking about self-centeredness or isolation. This is about self-awareness, self-reflection, and taking the time to understand who you are at your core. It's about reconnecting with your own purpose and vision for your life. When you understand why you do what you do, when you align your actions with your deepest beliefs and values, everything changes. You stop doing things for the sake of doing them or because others expect it. Instead, you act with intention, with clarity, and with passion. In 2025, the world may try to pull you in 100 different directions, but the only way you can truly navigate that is by being grounded in yourself. The more you understand yourself, the more confidently you can make decisions that are right for you, not based on the fleeting opinions of others. This year isn't about fitting into a mold, or even about achieving a checklist of societal milestones. It's about understanding the reasons behind your choices, your actions, and your aspirations. When you focus on yourself, you start to trust your instincts. You begin to make decisions that are aligned with who you are and where you want to go. And the best part? You free yourself from the anxiety of comparison. Because when you know why you do something, when your choices come from a place of authenticity, you no longer need validation from anyone else. So take time in 2025 to ask yourself the big questions. What do you want? What drives you? What brings you joy and fulfillment? The answers might not come all at once, and that's okay. But the more you focus inward, the clearer those answers will become, and the more you'll be able to move forward with purpose and conviction. This is your life, and in 2025, the best thing you can do is focus on making it. Focus inward, not outward. In a world full of distractions and external pressures, take the time to connect with yourself. Understand your values, your purpose, and what truly drives you, rather than constantly measuring your success based on others. Self-awareness creates clarity. The more you know yourself, the better equipped you are to make decisions that are aligned with your true desires. Self-awareness isn't about being selfish, it's about living with intention and authenticity. Don't chase external validation. The approval of others can be fleeting. When you align your actions with your own beliefs and goals, you stop living for others' expectations and begin to create a life that's genuinely yours. Trust your instincts. Focusing on yourself helps you build confidence in your own decisions. When you're connected to your inner purpose, you'll make choices that resonate deeply with who you are and where you want to go. Take time to reflect and reevaluate. 2025 is an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself the important questions. What do you want out of life? What brings you fulfillment? Periodic reflection will help you stay aligned with your personal goals and not get lost in the noise. In a world that constantly pulls our attention outward through social media, societal expectations, and the noise of everyone else's opinions, it's easy to lose sight of what's important to us as individuals. We find ourselves chasing after external validation, comparing ourselves to others, and measuring our worth based on external markers of success. But the more we look outside ourselves, the further we drift from understanding who we truly are and what we truly want. Focusing inward is the practice of pausing and reflecting on what really matters to you, not what others expect of you, not what trends are popular right now, but what aligns with your deepest values and your own sense of purpose. When we take the time to check in with ourselves, we're better able to tune out the noise and clarify what we actually want, rather than being pulled in every direction by the demands of the world. This isn't about being selfish or shutting the world out, it's about giving yourself permission to prioritize your own thoughts, emotions, and aspirations. It's easy to get lost in the pressure to conform or achieve things that might not be meaningful to us. But when we focus inward, we begin to understand the difference between what society tells us to do and what we truly need to feel fulfilled. The truth is, the more we look inside, the more we discover about our authentic selves. We learn what brings us joy, what challenges we're willing to face, and what kind of impact we want to have. The answers to these questions don't come from looking at others or seeking approval from external sources. They come from the quiet moments of reflection, the times when we're in tune with our own hearts and minds. In focusing inward, we gain the strength to make decisions based on our personal truths. The world around us may continue to change, but when we are rooted in ourselves, we can navigate through it with confidence. We stop measuring ourselves against others' achievements and start creating our own version of success, one that feels true to who we are. When we cultivate self-awareness, we begin to see ourselves more clearly. It's like cleaning the lens through which we view the world and our place within it. The more we understand our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, the more we can make sense of the choices we make and why we make them. This understanding creates a sense of clarity that is often absent when we're just going through life on autopilot, reacting to circumstances and other people's expectations. Self-awareness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and patience to reflect on our actions and motivations. But the effort is worth it when we start to really pay attention to what makes us tick, what excites us, what drains us, what feels right and what feels off. We gain insights that allow us to make better, more informed decisions. We stop guessing at what will make us happy or successful and start to act with intention because we know what truly aligns with our values. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of the world, where external factors like career paths, relationships, and material success are often presented as the markers of a fulfilling life. But self-awareness helps us sift through this noise and recognize that fulfillment is a deeply personal thing. It's not about chasing the same goals others pursue or fitting into someone else's definition of success. It's about understanding what truly resonates with us as individuals and making choices that reflect that. This clarity brings confidence. When you understand yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions, and your fears, you begin to trust your judgment more. You make decisions not based on what you think you should do, but based on what you know is best for you. Self-awareness helps you stay aligned with your true self, even when the world around you may try to pull you in different directions. Ultimately, the clarity gained from self-awareness empowers us to live with purpose. When we know who we are and what we stand for, we can navigate the complexities of life with a sense of direction. We stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and start focusing on what truly brings us peace, fulfillment, and growth. Chasing external validation can be a trap that many of us fall into without even realizing it. From a young age, we're taught to seek approval from others, whether it's from our parents, teachers, friends, or society at large. We're encouraged to measure our worth by how others see us, how much praise we get, or how we compare to those around us. It's easy to get caught up in this cycle, but the more we chase external validation, the further we get from understanding our own worth. The problem with relying on validation from others is that it's fleeting and unpredictable. One day you may receive praise or recognition for something and it feels great, but the next you may face criticism or indifference, and that leaves you questioning yourself all over again. External validation can be an emotional roller coaster, and it's dangerous because it makes your sense of self-worth dependent on factors that are beyond your control. You become less about who you truly are and more about how you think others perceive you. When we stop chasing external validation, we start to anchor our sense of self in something much stronger, our own values, beliefs, and purpose. This shift doesn't mean we completely ignore the opinions of others. It's natural to seek feedback or support from people we trust, but it means we no longer let those opinions define us. When we find validation from within, we become less swayed by outside approval or rejection. We learn to trust ourselves and make decisions that are true to our vision, not based on the desire to please or impress anyone else. The freedom that comes with not seeking constant external validation is profound. We no longer feel the pressure to conform to others' expectations, and we're no longer consumed by the need to prove ourselves. Instead, we act from a place of authenticity and self-respect. We set goals that align with our values, not because they'll make us look good in someone else's eyes, but because they're meaningful to us. We pursue what feels right, not what we think will earn us the most praise. Ultimately, by not chasing external validation, we stop measuring ourselves against others. We stop competing in a race that doesn't truly matter. And in doing so, we free ourselves to live more fully and authentically on our own terms. Trusting your instincts is about listening to that quiet inner voice that guides you, even when there's no clear evidence or logical explanation for the path you feel compelled to take. In a world that values data, analysis, and the opinions of experts, trusting your gut can feel like a leap of faith. But it's in those moments of uncertainty, when logic doesn't seem to have all the answers, that your instincts are often the most reliable guide you have. Instincts are shaped by experience, intuition, and a deep understanding of ourselves that sometimes goes beyond words. They come from a place of knowing, not through conscious thought, but through feeling. When we trust our instincts, we're acknowledging that we have an innate understanding of what's best for us, even if we can't always explain why. This trust allows us to make decisions that feel right, without needing constant validation or reassurance from others. In today's fast-paced, information-driven world, it's easy to ignore or second-guess our instincts. We often turn to external sources for answers, whether it's consulting others, seeking approval, or analyzing every angle. But in doing so, we sometimes lose touch with what our own inner compass is telling us. Trusting your instincts means giving yourself permission to rely on your own wisdom, to make decisions based on what feels aligned with who you are, even if it goes against conventional thinking or external expectations. There's power in trusting yourself in this way. The more we listen to our gut, the more confident we become in our decision-making. We stop overthinking and doubting ourselves. Even if a decision doesn't always lead to the outcome we expect, trusting our instincts strengthens our ability to learn from those experiences and refine our judgment moving forward. Each time we act on what feels true to us, we become more attuned to our own needs and desires, which ultimately helps us navigate life with more clarity and purpose. Trusting your instincts also frees you from the paralyzing fear of making the wrong choice. There will always be uncertainty, but when you trust your gut, you stop waiting for all the signs to line up perfectly before moving forward. You take action because you believe in your ability to figure things out along the way, and in doing so, you build resilience, grow stronger, and learn to trust yourself even more deeply. Your instincts are your personal guide, developed through a lifetime of experiences, emotions, and lessons learned. By choosing to trust them, you empower yourself to make decisions that reflect who you are and where you want to go without needing anyone else's approval. Taking time to reflect and reevaluate is one of the most powerful practices we can integrate into our lives. In the hustle and bustle of day-to-day living, it's easy to get caught up in the constant demands and distractions that pull us in different directions. We rush from task to task, chasing goals, responding to emails, meeting deadlines, and taking care of everyone else's needs. Often, without ever stopping to ask ourselves if we're heading in the right direction. Reflection offers the space to pause, step back, and look at our lives from a broader perspective. Reflection is more than just looking back on what we've done. It's about understanding why we've done it and whether those actions align with the bigger picture of who we are and where we want to go. It's about checking in with ourselves, seeing how we've grown, and recognizing where we might have strayed from our authentic path. This is where we gain insights about what truly matters to us, what we need to let go of, and what we should focus on moving forward. Reevaluating our choices, both big and small, helps us maintain a sense of purpose. It's easy to get so entrenched in routines and habits that we lose sight of whether they are still serving us or if we've just been doing them out of habit. Regularly taking time to reflect allows us to ask critical questions. Are we still on track? Are our goals still aligned with our values? Are we making decisions based on external pressure or what feels right for us? These are the moments when we can course correct if needed, realign our efforts, and set new intentions that are more in tune with our evolving needs and desires. It's also important to realize that reflection isn't always about making drastic changes or taking immediate action. Sometimes it's simply about gaining awareness and clarity. Just acknowledging that a certain area of our life needs attention, or that we've been feeling disconnected from our purpose, can be enough to ignite a sense of renewal. Through this process, we give ourselves permission to adapt, to pivot, and to embrace the idea that our path doesn't have to be a straight line. When we take the time to reflect and reevaluate, we make room for growth and learning. We stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. It's in these quiet, introspective moments that we can hear our inner voice more clearly, tune into our true desires, and make decisions that will serve us better in the long run. The act of reflecting isn't just about looking back. It's about using the past as a tool to shape a more aligned and fulfilling future. In 2025, as we navigate a world that's constantly evolving, it's more important than ever to turn our focus inward and embrace the power of self-awareness. By understanding ourselves, we gain clarity, make decisions that align with our true values, and create a life that feels authentic. When we stop chasing external validation, we reclaim our sense of worth, trusting our instincts to guide us toward what truly matters. And by regularly taking time to reflect and reevaluate, we ensure that we're continuously moving in a direction that's true to who we are. This year isn't about fitting into someone else's mold. It's about embracing the freedom to live on our own terms. By focusing on ourselves, we can create a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and the confidence to face whatever comes our way.